Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. On our last video, we talked about the lockdown, and just because you can't take any driving lessons or driving test, should you just stop learning? So what I said to you and gave you the advice is to keep learning, and open the book, watch videos, and learn the things that you need to learn for you to drive and for you to pass the test. That way, when you go back to your driving lessons, you will have enough knowledge. That way you will save time and money. So in this lockdown, make sure you keep learning, keep reading, keep watching videos, and try to gain the knowledge as much as possible which you need for you to learn to drive and pass the test. I've also said that for next few weeks I will come with subjects explaining in details so that you could understand the subjects better, and hopefully you will understand and it will be easier for you to put that into practice. I've also said if you want me to talk about something, you should make a request on the description, and many of you have made many requests: roundabouts, T-junctions, clutch control, and many other. So what I will do is I'll try to cover as much as I can from the request you've made, and hopefully it will help you. So let's go straight into the request. Now, one request here is approaching a traffic light. So if you are approaching a traffic light and it's green, how should you approach? Okay, so let's talk about this, because many learners actually, they do have problem when they are approaching a traffic light, and many, they do fail their test because they are approaching with a wrong mindset. Because when you're approaching a traffic light, you have to know what should you be thinking as you're approaching a traffic light if it's green. So let's talk about that. Okay, so let's say that's a road. Okay, just say that's a road and that's a traffic light here. Okay, so this is the road, this is where you will be driving, that's the opposite, and that's a traffic light. And imagine that's a green traffic light. Okay, this is your car. Okay, now when I say the mindset, what do I mean? Because green means go. Okay, so soon as when you see green, what should you be thinking? This is your car. So think, what should you be thinking? Because if your thinking is wrong, you will approach the traffic light in a wrong way, and you probably will fail the test because you've gone through a red light, because your approaching is wrong. The mindset, you have to think. So this is your car, it's green, and you could see the green from far away. Okay, now it's a human nature. Soon as we see green, what are we thinking? We are thinking that it's green, so we have to go. So what do? We are speeding up, and that's the problem. That kind of mindset will not help you to approach the traffic light the way you should. So if you see green, it means for you to go, but it doesn't mean for you to beat the traffic light. You're not in a race. Okay, now you should be driving according to the road speed. The way you are driving, you should drive the way you are. So you should be driving what is the road speed. Okay, so this is your car, the road is 40 or 30, whatever it is. Drive as normal the road speed, and drive safely what the road is telling you to drive. Okay, don't speed up. So you are driving according to the road speed. When you're about here, that's where the problem is. About here, you're quite near, don't speed up. Because when you're over there, many learners, what they do is they speed up. They think, well, it's green, it's going to change, I have to go. And that's the problem. Don't do that. Drive as normal. Okay, don't speed up. Drive as normal. When you're about here, off gas, meaning don't give any more gas, and cover the brake. Okay, so you keep the same speed. When you're about here, off gas, and what do? Cover the brake. Why? In case if it changes. So can you see the mindset, the way you are thinking? Because you are thinking, if it changes, I can't stop here. You're not thinking for you to beat the traffic light. Can you see the difference? So that's the mindset you need. So off gas, cover the brake. When you're about here, okay, and the traffic light is still green, start giving gas. Okay, now when you give gas here, by the time you're here, even if it does change, don't stop anymore, because you are too close. Okay, so when you are there and it's still green, give gas and go. When you are there, it changes, doesn't matter. You are already brake, your feet is on the brake. All you do is brake gently, a little bit more harder, and stop the car. Okay, so just to explain quickly again, this is your car, is green, drive as normal. Okay, keep driving. When you're about here, don't speed up just because you're thinking it's going to change. If it does change, it changes. We'll stop the car if it's a red light. Okay, we don't have to go. What's the race? When you're about here, off gas, cover the brake. When you're about here, if it's red, brake hard a little bit more and stop. If it's green, give gas and carry on going. Okay, so I hope that explains how to approach a traffic light. Now what's the next question? Now the next question is approaching T-junction. Okay, T-junction. So what is T-junction? T-junction is where you are approaching a road and it finishes. It's a dead end. You either go left or go right. The road doesn't go straight on. It's a dead end. Okay, it's a T-junction. Someone said how to approach a T-junction. Okay, so let's talk about T-junction. So that's a T-junction. Okay. Okay, there's a reason why it's called T-junction is because it's like a T shape. Okay, the road finishes, it doesn't go straight ahead. So that's a T-junction. Okay, now how do you approach a T-junction? Now if you watch the other videos on the channel, you would know there are two types of T-junction. One is open junction and one is a closed junction. Okay, closed junction is a junction where there are buildings here and you can't see from here who's coming. That's a closed junction. So if it's a closed junction, approach in a way so that you have to stop here, look if it's safe, and then you will go. Okay, and if it's an open junction, it means that there are no obstruction here. There is no obstruction here, and you could see from here who's coming, both sides. Who's coming both sides, which means that you could make a decision here whether you can go or not. So you make a decision from here. If it's open, from here, you say to yourself, can I go? If the answer is yes, you prepare in a way around here, second gear, look again, and then you go. If it's closed, which means you can't see, then go to the line, prepare to stop, and as you are stopping, if you see it's clear, you carry on going. And that's how you approach a T-junction. Now there's a question here, what is clutch control and when should I give gas as I bring the clutch up? Now for you to move off, you put the clutch down, you give enough gas. Okay, if it's a flat road, you give about 1500 rev. If it's hill, you give about 2000 rev. Okay, so you put the clutch down, you go to first gear and you give gas, then you bring the clutch up. The question was, should I bring the clutch up first and then give gas? The answer is clutch down first, first gear, then give gas. Before you bring the clutch up, you give gas as much as you need, meaning flat 1500, uphill 2000, and then bring the clutch up slowly to the biting point. Why? Because for you to go, you need gas or petrol, right? So you bring the clutch to the biting for you to go, but there is no gas. The car's not going to move, right? So you need to give the gas first. So when the clutch comes to the biting, the gas is already there for you to move the car. Okay, so just to repeat, clutch down, first gear, gas first, and then bring the clutch to the biting point for you to move. Okay, now approaching a roundabout. Okay, similar to what we talked about on a traffic light. Someone said, how should I approach a roundabout? Okay, roundabout is the same. So for example, so that's a roundabout. So a typical roundabout with 4 exits. Okay, it could be 2 exits, it could be 3, 4, 5, but it's typical. Normally it's about 4 exits. Okay, now as long as you know the rule, obviously if you don't, go to the other videos and watch the videos on roundabouts and learn about the rules. The best way you can approach a roundabout is for you to understand roundabouts. It's really important that you grasp, you take in the information that you need for you to approach a roundabout. It is the important. So it's not how many lessons you've had in the roundabout. Make sure you gain the knowledge first. It's all about the knowledge. Unless you gain the knowledge, it will be difficult for you to deal with the roundabout. It doesn't matter how many lessons you have. So this is why it's really important for you to gain the knowledge as much as you can. So then on your approach or when you are dealing with roundabouts, it becomes easier for you. Okay, so in this case, how do you approach? So this is your car, just say, okay, you're approaching a roundabout. Obviously you'll have your side, you'll have 2 lanes or 1 lane, okay? But I'm just explaining in simple. So you're approaching a roundabout. As you approach the roundabout, it's like a green traffic light, okay? You approach, you look at the roundabout and you ask the question, where am I looking? What is my mindset? What am I doing? Am I going left? Am I going straight? Am I going right? Because according to that, you need the lane and you need to signal according to that. It's really important. Like I said, gaining the knowledge is the important when you're dealing with roundabouts. So you're approaching, so you know which lane you need, you know which mirrors you need to check, and you know which way you need to look. So on the roundabout, which way do you look? You look on your right. Yes, you look on your right and you make a decision, can I go or not? Remember, the whole reason the roundabout is there, so that if it's clear, you don't stop. That's why it's there. Okay, if it's clear, you don't stop. If it's not clear, you stop. You give way on your right. If there is a car coming, or if you feel the gap is not big enough, you stop, you wait until it's clear, and then you go. Okay, if you think there is a car but the gap is there, you make a decision here, second gear, and you go. So approach in a way looking on your right and ask the question, can I go or not? This is the key. That's the key. That's the question you need to ask. Can I go or not? I'm looking on my right and there is a car. And remember, when you look on your right, it's not just 1 lane. Sometimes you want to go left and there are 2 lanes and you think the left one is clear, I can go. There is a car on the right lane, I don't have to stop. Remember, you have to stop for both lanes. So it doesn't matter, regardless which lane the car is, whether it's in the left lane or right lane, all the lanes has to be clear. You have to make sure that cars coming from the right, all the lanes are clear, not just the left lane. All the lanes has to be clear, or the gap has to be on all the lanes, okay, before you go, before you enter the roundabout. Okay, so look on your right, look for the gap. If the gap is there, you go. Now the other thing about finding a gap is that if you think that I'm looking at the right and I'm not sure, if you're not sure, that's the danger. If I were you, I wouldn't go, because you're not sure. If you're not sure, that means you can't go because you're not sure. Not sure is where the problem is. If you're not sure, full stop, don't go. Okay, so look on your right, make a decision. If you're not sure, go to the line, stop, wait, find the next gap, and then you go. Okay, and like I said, it's gaining knowledge. It's all about gaining knowledge about roundabouts or any subjects. All the subjects that you need to learn, it's all about gaining knowledge. And as I said to you before on my last video, that I am working on a project, on a course which is going to be launched in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm just finishing off, and I am taking a small group to help in that course. If you want to be a part of that group, make sure you register yourself in the description below, and near to the time I will email you and let you know when it is about to launch. The course will give you the knowledge, all the knowledge you need for you to learn to drive and pass the test. So if you want to be a part of that group, make sure you register yourself on the description below, and I will email you and let you know near to the time. So let's go to the next one. Now someone is asking here, multi-roundabouts. Okay, so how do you approach a multi-roundabout? Now, multi-roundabout, especially mini roundabouts, there could be 2 mini roundabouts next to each other. How do you treat? You treat each one individually. Okay, so you approach the first one, and then as you are finishing the first one, you are thinking to deal with the second one. Okay, so you treat each one individually. Many times, many learners, the mistake they make is that they try to treat both in one go. Okay, think, so for example, you've got 2 roundabouts coming up, okay, and first one you're going straight and second one right. So what do? You think of the first one first, and as you're finishing the first, then think of the second one. Okay, for example, So for example, there's a roundabout here and there's one here. Okay, so on this one you are going second straight, and on this one you are going second right, or maybe third right. Okay, so the examiner or the sat nav said to you there are two roundabouts coming up. On the first one go straight, and on the second one go right, third exit. So what should you be thinking? Should you be thinking this one or just this one first? Okay, remember, you need to have the information where you are going, but you need to treat each one individually, a separate thing. So first, think of this one. So imagine that's the first roundabout, and say this is the going straight, second exit, going straight. Okay, so as you're approaching, you should be thinking, I'm going here, second exit straight. What should you be thinking here? Left lane, no signal. Okay, when you come here, you put the signal on. And if it's too small, you don't even have to signal here because it's too small. As you are leaving, when you come here, now you are thinking about this one. So what should you be thinking? I need to be in the right lane. If it's only one lane, towards right slightly, signal right. Okay, and then you enter if it's clear, and then 1, 2, when you come here, you think of signal to leave. If it's too small, you don't even have to signal to leave. Okay, so the way you deal with multi roundabouts is treat each one individually. Okay, don't try to deal with both in one go, and don't get confused. Treat each one individually. First one first, and then the second one. Okay, the other problem, one other thing is that here, when you have dealt with the first one, when you come here, make sure you take the signal off for the second one, because this signal you just gave is for this one. For this one, it could be different. So when you come here, think, do I need a signal for that or not? And you put the signal here for that. You either give or you don't. So make sure you take the signal off here for this one. For this one, if you need to give signal, then leave the signal on if it's the correct signal. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Now let's look at the next one. Where do I live? I'm based in Southampton, and that's where I'm based. Now, one of the problem many learners in the beginning and they find problem is to keep the car in a straight line towards left or in the normal driving position. They are either too much on the right or they are too close to the pavement and they keep hitting the pavement. Okay, so one of the advice I would give is, this is the road. Okay, that's the road. This is your car. That's your normal driving position. You should be about 1 meter away from the pavement or the curve. Okay, now one of the reasons the many learners they get that wrong is they either too far, is because they are looking at the pavement too close. Your view is too close, or they're looking at the bonnet of their car. It's too close, and because you are looking at too close, it looks you are going to hit the pavement or you are too close, and that's the reason why you are driving too far from the pavement. Where should you look? You should be looking far as possible. Your horizon should be about there. The further you look, the further your brain is going to tell where the road is going. If you look near, your brain is going to say that you are too close, and your hand is going to move the steering towards right. Okay, you need to let your brain know that where the road is going. That way your mind is automatically making a decision for the hand. Okay, so look far ahead, look far. The far you look, you know where the road is going. If there's a bend coming, you already know. Your mind is already telling your hands where to keep the car. Okay, remember, the signal is coming from your mind, not from your hand. Your hand is working what the mind is saying. Okay, if you look near, that means the mind is saying you're going to hit the pavement. So what do you think the hand is going to do? It's going to move away, right? Because the hand is not doing anything unless it's coming from the head office. It is coming from your head. So the further you look, the more further you look, your brain knows where the road is going. So the brain is already telling your hands where. Automatically, you don't even think, your mind is already saying to your hand, that's the position. Okay, so my advice is look far, don't look too near, look very far. Look where the road is, and you should be looking the pavement, not this side, this side. Okay, this side. You know where this pavement is going. That way, like I said, your mind is going to send a signal to your hands. Okay, so that's it for this video. Until the next video, I'm going to come, like I said, every other day. So maybe in about a few days or in 3 days, I will come with another video. So if you want me to talk about more things, make sure you write on the comment the things you want me to talk about on the next lesson. I'll come to you in about 2 to 3 days. So write on the comment what you want me to talk about, and I will talk about those things hopefully. And like I said, I'm working on this course which is going to finish in about 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm taking a small group for that, so I could help better. If you want to be a part of that group, make sure you put your name on the description for you to be in the waiting list, and I will email you and let you know near to the time. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again on the next video in the next few days. Bye for now.